Buddy uppy. Okay, welcome back to episode 4 of One Body.
I'm Kruesi.
I'm Eden.
And today we're talking about tonsil
Tonsil
stones, baby.
Also known as tonsilloliths.
Tonsilloliths.
Tonsilloliths. Okay?
Why do you
Tonsil
get
stones.
a lisp when you say it?
Tonsilloliths. THS.
Yeah, that was good.
again. Tonsilloliths.
Today we're talking about tonsilloliths.
Okay, but first, anti-bucket list. What's your anti-bucket list? What's on your anti-bucket list? So things that you're like, I don't care if I die before this happens. Like, I truly don't care.
There's so many things. I feel like I don't care about a lot of things. I'm like, I don't care. I don't need to do that. I'm happy. But it's funny because I did have a bucket list. Actually, I should probably try to find that. It's probably on my phone somewhere. I had a bucket list at some point that I did care about.
Mm-hmm.
I probably crossed off a good amount of them.
Like, get married, have a baby, make money.
Probably.
Be happy.
Be happy.
Have
Yeah.
friends.
Check. No, okay. On my anti-bucket list is 1, never. I never need to go to Disney World or Disneyland
That's going to
or Dollywood,
Yeah.
Dolly Parton.
Hollywood.
Never. I don't care. Can't catch me there.
Wow.
Most water parks don't care. Not going.
Do you enjoy amusement parks?
Not really anymore. I used to like Six Flags, but I'm just like, ugh.
Okay.
It's like gross. I'm too
a good
aware
example.
of germs now. I'm like, ew. Everybody's like sweating on these. It's gross.
Oh, okay.
That's one.
I would say like skydiving or bungee jumping or a helicopter, hot air balloon. I just don't care to do that.
Yeah, anything with height. It's funny. I think the past 2 weddings I've been invited to, they've had hot air balloons. I mean, that is so cool, but I'm like,
A hot
I'm
air balloon
scared.
almost feels scarier than skydiving. Like, I'm
it
like,
feels
what?
less regulated.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. Okay, that's a good one. I don't need to run a marathon. And actually, I do think that in the past has been on my bucket list, but I'm just like, I'm not into it.
Okay, I feel like I don't know about that one yet. And same with a half Ironman. Our husbands have done half Ironmans, and there's a part of me that's like, wait.
You want to.
Like, some days I'm like, I have no desire to do that. Same with the marathon. And then other days I want to see if I could do that. But I don't know.
Like, test your limits. Who
Yeah.
knows? Maybe I will one day change my mind. But right now, I'm like, heck no. That sounds like you're like pooping your pants.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Currently, I wouldn't be sad if I died without getting a tattoo, shaving my head, septum piercing, belly button piercing.
Wait, what is septum piercing?
Right here.
Oh, yeah. Let's not do that.
Like, I feel like I'm not like interested in seeing how I look with any of those things.
Okay.
I've thought about like a chop or a different color hair. Like, that'd be fun to try, but anything else, meh,
Yeah.
I don't really care.
It's like you already know your look.
Yeah.
You know it looks good on you. What else? I don't feel the need to do like cocaine or is speed the same as cocaine? I think it's similar. Ecstasy, no. I don't really want to do that.
I've never smoked weed, and I honestly don't have a desire to. Pretty good. I don't want to swim with sharks.
I don't either. Or dolphins.
I would never, if given the opportunity to go to space or like satellite, whatever you call it.
Hell no.
I don't care.
Or a
I don't want to go in a
submarine.
submarine. I don't care. I
don't
like being
care.
on Earth. Honestly, like, I don't even like to fly that much.
I know. You really don't.
I feel like there's so many more, but it's kind of a fun concept because my bucket list, I don't even have a long bucket list, but my anti-bucket list is
longer.
Yeah.
And it's not like I don't want to have fun and be adventurous. There's just some things where you're like, I'm happy. I'm content.
Yes.
I don't need the other things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, let's get into tonsil stones. If you have tonsil stones, if you know what they are, I'm really sorry for you. I personally have suffered and currently suffer. They really are terrible. So
You've been through it. It's been a while.
yeah, I think I have like chronic tonsil stones, tonsilloliths.
Tonsilloliths.
So I think in order to understand them, it's helpful to understand what the tonsils even are, like the anatomy of that, which you might know more than me. I think there's like 4 different, like you have pharyngeal or palatine tonsils, which everyone's familiar with, lingual tonsils. And I think pharyngeal tonsils are also referred to as adenoids.
Yes.
Okay.
Adenoids. Yeah.
Okay. Why are tonsils important?
My understanding of them is they are an important part of the immune system. However, you can also be healthy without them.
Yes. Okay. That's my general consensus and what I look.
I think that's all we need
my
to
research. It's like a first line of defense for pathogens. So it can be helpful to filter things out, but it can also result in tonsillitis and all the things we talked about in the previous episode.
Yeah, tonsil infections.
That can just be really uncomfortable or painful. So tonsil stones are not necessarily related to tonsillitis, but there could be some correlation between the two or like triggering each other. Everyone has tonsils. You're born with tonsils unless you got them removed. It was pretty routine to get tonsils removed. It's not so routine anymore.
I have my tonsils removed.
Yeah, she got hers removed. I still have mine. It's pretty involved surgery under anesthesia and
very bloody.
Yeah,
scraping.
there are
they
like
just
risks
scrape it off.
Yeah, there are risks to it. I think it's probably good that we're more careful in recommending those.
Yeah.
So we all have tonsils. If you have your tonsils still, and those tonsils have tonsillar crypts or grooves or spaces in them. Some people's are for whatever reason larger than others. Kind of the shape or the posture of where your tonsils sit and the anatomy of your oral cavity and throat can be different from person to person. So some people, like myself, apparently, are predisposed to developing tonsil stones because my theory is my tonsillar crypts or grooves were larger or have become larger through me like irritating them or having sore throats or infections. And so then debris like food, bacteria, skin, mucus can get trapped in those little grooves or pits. Yes, and they calcify. They form like a buildup into the best way that I can think to describe it is like a squishy little nerd. Like a nerd.
Like a little candy.
Yeah.
Like a nerd. Okay.
Like a tiny individual nerd. It's squishy. Like if you squish that between your fingers, it would like dissolve. Okay. It's gross. It's not like rock hard. It's squishy. Ah. It's gross. Yeah. Okay. So when food or any kind of debris is getting stuck in your tonsils instead of where else it would go.
Just down into your GI system.
Yeah. It gets stuck there. I think it's like rotting. It can actually create almost like this sulfur gas, which if you've ever smelled sulfur, it's like a rotten egg, like swamp smell. So I think that's the biggest reason that you want to get tonsil stones removed is because of the smell. They're not like really hurting your tonsils. They're not doing anything to you. If you swallow a tonsil stone, nothing happens. It's just like a gross thing that you're swallowing, I guess. But the main incentive to get them removed or to prevent tonsil stones is because of the smell. That's actually how I became aware myself. My awesome husband was like, guys,
please
this is like the worst thing that happened to me in my whole life. We're like sitting on the couch for whatever reason. I was like, being a little extra lovey-dovey
for whatever reason.
And he's like, I don't want to like make you sad, but I will just say like, I don't know how he said it, but it was like enough of a distinct smell or different smell to be like, I think maybe it could be worth like getting this checked out. And I was like, yes, remind me to never talk to you.
Never touch you, never look at you.
Like I wasn't mad. I was just like, this is probably the worst thing that anyone could ever tell me. That's like, I feel like everyone's kind of like you're kind of aware.
It will make you very insecure if someone mentions that.
Yeah, so I was like, this is going to ruin our relationship and my relationship with everyone else. And I think that's honestly a big factor if you've had tonsil stones before. It was affecting like how close I was getting to people. I wasn't being as social or like talking to people because I was like not wanting to get too close. Yeah. And then honestly, like I still feel hesitant sometimes to kiss my husband because I'm afraid that my breath smells or whatever, which he has told me that we have like, I'm like, please be honest. And so it's not like my breath constantly smells bad, chronic halitosis, no thank you. But there are times when he'll say like, hey, maybe you have like a stone or maybe you could deal with that. And I'm like, I hate myself and thank you. Yeah. And I'll go deal with that. And I would rather
true friend. He's a true friend.
So if you have a friend or a loved one and you're like, this feels different than morning breath or like different than garlic bread, you might have tonsil stones and it might be worth removing them just because it's a bacteria in your mouth and like oral health is really important for the rest of the body in general. The size can be anywhere from 1 millimeter to 4 millimeters. Mine are all really small, but I've seen pictures where they can actually be like getting into your airway or like really painful to where it needs to be removed. And I don't know why those seem almost like they'd be pretty easy to just like poke out. The reasons that tonsil stones might form or where all that bacteria might come from. Some other things I read were postnasal drip, which makes sense. Or if you have any like thickening mucus or if you have a cold or if you have anything related to your tonsils that's flaring your tonsils up, it makes sense that it might trap more debris or get stuck. If you're not hydrated, that can make the mucus thicker and just like things get stuck there. The main thing you'll look up and see is just poor oral hygiene, which was frustrating for me because I floss and brush and use mouthwash. So I was just really confused as to what was causing them. There's a lot more to look into and probably on another date about just like your oral microbiome. Is that what it's called? And like
mouth health is hot right now.
So I don't know if that could be my situation as well. But I think there's lots of things that could cause tonsil stones. To get rid of them, really the best form of maintenance that's recommended even from like ENTs right now or doctors is just to remove them safely. So not to use like
manual elimination.
Yes, extraction. Don't use like a knife or like,
oh my gosh.
I don't know. Apparently people are crazy, like a scalpel or something. I actually I got a tonsil stone remover on Amazon. It's like $5. It's just like a long plastic piece that has a light on the end. And I found that that's the most successful.
It's kind of cute. It's like pink, right?
It's blue, but yeah, it's cute. And it's just, instead of like sticking your fingers back in your tonsils and like making yourself gag or potentially scraping yourself with your fingernail, like I was doing that a lot. And also if your fingernails have anything on, like it's just not good to do that. Or a Q-tip to me wasn't far back enough to reach because that was often what was recommended. So if you feel like you have tonsil stones that are happening a lot, I would recommend you can just look up tonsil stone like remover toolkit on Amazon or something. There's a bunch of private companies that sell them. I think they're all the same. You can probably just get a cheaper one on Amazon. Just like press gently around, like on the tonsil next to the tonsil stone, or just kind of like scoop it out.
Kind of like a zit.
Kind of like a
like
zit.
pop it.
Yeah. And then just make sure you're like gargling and rinsing after and getting any debris out. I think it's probably good if you have tonsil stones or if you've just removed tonsil stones and those crypts or grooves might be a little bit more like larger or more inflamed. After you eat, just like gargle and spit because...
Is it good to do with salt water or does it matter?
Yeah, I would. I usually, if I'm lazy, I don't do that. But I've been doing that and I think that is preventing more tonsil stones because it's just clearing out like specific foods, kale or chocolate for whatever reason, like certain foods that can kind of get stuck in places or really small pieces like chips. I just don't really eat stuff like that anymore. Or if I do, I make sure I gargle and spit in case something's there. I use mouthwash. I make sure to brush like my tongue, my hard palate, my gums, floss. Like I have all the good oral care and then I'm doing extra things like gargling in between meals, getting the tonsil stones out. I went to the dentist and asked their recommendations and they gave me an oral probiotic to try, but they weren't saying it was necessarily going to do much. I have a friend who has done Flonase recommended by her pediatrician. She has a lot of postnasal drip and some allergies as well.
Makes
I think
sense.
that was the main thing that was contributing. So I've thought about that.
That's just a nasal spray that's a steroid. So it will decrease inflammation and decrease the dripping.
Okay. Because I think that is a big part of mine is I have postnasal drip and then it's just getting stuck now in those little grooves.
Yeah.
I think as tonsil stones are becoming more understood or more prevalent, because I hadn't like looked back at my tonsils before. And then when I saw that something was there, it really freaked me out. And I noticed, I like became more aware of that anatomy. And I think it on like TikTok and social media, it's become a thing about tonsil stones for whatever reason. But there are certain things if it's serious enough or if it's really impacting your day to day, they could use like a laser or cauterize. What was the other word? Ablation of a particular part of your tonsil. If there's like one crypt that's a recurrent tonsil stone or things are getting stuck there to reduce the size and prevent buildup there. If it was really like you cannot deal with it, you could just get a tonsillectomy and totally remove your tonsils. But that is a more involved surgery. And surely more painful as an adult or just like you're larger. It's longer rehab. And then I listened to a few podcasts from MDs that were talking about different herbs or kind of like functional medicine that I'm really excited to try. Slippery elm was one of them, which I think we've talked about before. Kind of like a honey, it can maybe like soothe or coat and maybe even stick to the tonsil stones and help get them out. Golden seal is an antimicrobial and anti-inflammatory, so it can help establish a more healthy like mucus in your tonsils. Garlic is antimicrobial. And then
oregano.
Yeah, lots of herbs. And then again, I was taking an oral probiotic for a time because that's what my dentist gave me. I think that's more related to if you have a true like alteration in your oral microbiome that needs to be fixed. That could be contributing to chronic halitosis or like chronic bad breath. And then you're swallowing your saliva, you're getting that bacteria in your whole mouth. I think mouth taping has been helpful. Just so know if you are a mouth breather, your mouth doesn't have the same filters that your nose has. And so you might be breathing in more like just dust or debris
and
getting in your mouth.
Your mouth gets so dry with mouth breathing at night that I bet that also contributes because your saliva is antibacterial. So I'm wondering if your mouth is dry, your saliva is not as effective. And then maybe if your mouth is dry too, it's more likely that things will form and clump and calcify.
Yeah. Definitely. And if you're not hydrated, like I mentioned, the saliva can be a lot thicker or your mucus can be thicker. So things just aren't flowing as well. So yeah, that's really the gist of it. Tonsil stones are just, they're gross. They're weird. Like it's embarrassing to talk about, but I've heard more, like I have several friends now that have tonsil stones. And when you meet someone that has also experienced tonsil stones, you're like, wow, like I relate. Yeah. As far as I know, they're not contagious. That was a big fear of mine. I was like, is my husband gonna get tonsil stones? Because then he really wouldn't want to kiss me.
Yeah, they're not contagious.
They're not contagious.
No.
I do think certain people are just predisposed. What? Tonsillitis are predisposed based on the anatomy or structure of their tonsils. I would be really careful in removing them. Make sure whatever you're using is clean. I have denture cleaner, like tablets. That I use to clean my retainer. And so after I use my tonsil stone remover, I'll soak that as well.
Yeah, that's smart.
To clean it. But yeah, it's really not that big of a deal. It can't hurt you. It's just really annoying.
Bothersome.
And
you don't want to be insecure about like talking closely to people. You want to just be yourself and not be like inwardly freaking out about that. Oh my gosh. I remember when I had melasma. Obviously, this is so different, but it's when you get like a really dark hyperpigmentation of your skin. I had it as a mustache. And that's the most insecure I've ever been because I would be like
so close.
If I'm talking closely to someone, I'm like, they're just staring at my mustache. Like, this sucks.
Yeah.
So very different, but anything, especially I think on your face or like your head, neck area, that's just, you can't hide. It's hard.
Yeah.
So.
And it can be painful. I mean, it's a kind of like a pressure buildup, or I can sometimes feel like when I'm swallowing,
irritating.
I can feel it.
Yeah. Remember you would
or just a little bit
that.
like inflamed or enlarged. And so you're swallowing, like it just is a little painful.
Yeah.
And then after removal of them, if you're not doing it carefully, they can be a little sore.
But now you know, and you don't have to suffer alone.
Yeah, we'll link that tonsil stone remover.
And if you need to see a specialist about it, it would be an ENT, ear, nose, throat doctor.
Yes.
So they would be helpful.
Yeah.
All right, cool. We out.